Are you ready?
Ready? Okay.
Show you this. Okay. Welcome to another episode of Cocks and Cocktails. Today we're not on cocks. We're not on cocktails, but I mean, we're here, we're sitting cute, and we're gonna get to a more serious topic today. You know, we've talked about relationships, we've talked about boys, the man them, the lack of the man them, we've done it. But today we're gonna get into a more serious topic that's affecting a lot of people in Jamaica, which is employment.
Employment.
Yeah, it's the ghetto. Looking for it, being in it, being out of it, it's just not.
Employment in general is just, as you said, the ghetto.
The ghetto. But yes, but for those who don't know, my name is Toni Ann. I am the original creator of Naturally Toned and of course Cocks and Cocktails. This is one of my dearest friends, Tracey Ann.
Hey girl, hey. So, hi everybody. I am Tracey. We've been friends for like
too long.
Oh wow, too long.
Yeah, and even longer to go. And longer to go.
Longer to go.
Longer to go.
I love that. Thank you for having me, friend.
No
I think
problem.
We're gonna have a good time chit-chatting about this topic.
I think they missed you because you weren't in the last two episodes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I wasn't able to come do the last one.
Yeah. So you know, I think they're happy to have you back in the swing of things.
I hope so, because I'm here. Hello.
So for those who don't know, I am actually a marketer in Jamaica. You know, my degree is in food and beverage management, which is of course completely not what recruiters are looking for.
Leaps and bounds.
Yeah, and that's definitely something I'm going to touch on today. I've been working in Jamaica, I want to say around 10 years, if you're not counting internships and and side hustles and projects about that. So that just sets the tone. How about you, Tracey?
So I've been working in marketing. Well, let me not say, because I started in PR actually.
Okay.
I started my career in PR, and when I was fresh out of university, I was working in customer service for a little bit. You see that? Customer service? I'm telling you something about customer service. But anyway, I moved from customer service and I went into PR. And after PR, I started working in advertising, marketing. So if I'm only counting marketing years, we're about to be at 10 now. Mm-hmm. If I'm counting like the entire span, we are at 12.
Okay. So that sets the tone, right?
Not me aging myself.
I mean, you don't look it, baby. So, I mean,
we'll take it.
It doesn't even matter, you know? But, you know, what I find is there are a lot of people who can talk about, you know, Jamaicans like leaving college and not being able to find jobs. But very rare, you hear people saying, okay, I have been working, you know, I have my qualifications, I've done my certifications, you know, I've done what I needed to do work experience wise. But yet, I'm not the first choice, second choice, or third choice.
Girl.
We can't get a call back.
Girl.
And we need to talk about it because the truth is,
struggle is real.
Qualified Jamaicans are struggling too.
Absolutely.
And I feel like, you know, platforms that for example, will look at like me with a food and beverage degree. It doesn't matter how much experience I have. If you set the recruitment finder, whether you do it in LinkedIn or Caribbean Jobs, and you say, if this person does not have a marketing degree, then I'm automatically out the loop. Yeah,
because especially when I'm using like different platforms and I'm trying to apply through a platform, it asks specific questions. Do you have a degree in X? And it's just like, well, technically no, but I have all the experience that you're looking for. But once you put no, then you are automatically sent to the bottom of the pile and you're automatically rejected. So that makes it a little weird for people who are legitimately experienced and legitimately have the qualifications.
Yeah.
Just because I don't have on paper that I've done this.
Exactly.
May I do it for the 10 years? So the 10 years out of paper.
For aside. Right?
you know?
And you know, it's unfortunate because, you know, you wanna be hard and fast to the recruiters and be like, you know, give everybody a chance. But, you know, the truth is we're on a level. And they have to have certain benchmarks to really say, you know, but it's just unfortunate that both can't be weighted. You know, my experience and my qualifications can't be weighted to say if I'm better at this or better at that. You know, it's just, ain't got no degree, no make no sense. Or, ain't got no experience. And you know what I find too? the overseas people, them. You see, when you go overseas, not no shade, but when you go, you know, the Florida University and whatever, and get a degree and so, even if you have no work experience,
you could be the dishwasher.
And my resume with my 10 years don't mean nothing to them because you come from foreign and you have the foreign money for the pay for your little thing. I feel like that also is a big deterrent for, like, even it's the reason why you have so much brain drain in Jamaica right now. Like how many of your friends have gone to Canada?
Girl. not even just Canada, but like even parts of Europe too.
Yeah.
Because when you look at the jobs that are available in Jamaica, for somebody who has been working for 8, 9, 10 years and they need a specific kind of job, or they're looking for a specific kind of career.
Yeah.
It's not here sometimes.
It's true. It's true.
And it's either you have to dig and find you find on one place.
Yeah.
And you book up on one place will treat you good and you're like, all right, yeah, that place there. But then a lot of the times you have to be hopscotching.
True.
You have to be hopscotching because you're like, okay, this role has these things, but then it lacks these things, which are also fundamental needs for you.
Yeah.
And I mean, let's be honest, recruiters, employers, let's be honest, right? A lot of us, I'm speaking for myself here as well. If we're not feeling as if not even the entire, but like if most of the boxes are not ticked, people are not going to stay.
True.
So you could be giving them $1 million or whatever. There are a lot of people who don't necessarily take on a role for the money.
True.
They take it on because they want to feel fulfilled, or they want a chance to make a difference, or they genuinely just want to learn.
Yeah.
So don't box somebody out simply because of whatever you might see on the paper. Like, you can genuinely be.
Do some more critical thinking.
Yeah, do some more critical thinking.
Yeah.
Like, you can genuinely be shorting yourself.
Yeah.
Of
a really good
qualified candidate.
Yeah.
Simply because you have this little
hang up about what a degree name. Because I mean, I'm sure we've all heard that a degree makes you trainable, right?
It does.
So if I'm trainable, why not train me to be what you need me to be? And you know what I find too? Me having that food and beverage degree, and when I got into marketing, it made me work 10 times harder because I was always painfully aware that there may be an opportunity that I may miss because I don't have that formal training. I don't have that formal training. A lot of things I learned on the job and through my different mentors, and I'm very grateful to all of them. But it took smart decision making in the jobs I was doing. And let's be honest, the jobs you take in Jamaica are backups. It's not like you have 10 recruiters and knock down your door. Let's get real about it.
Let's get real.
You get that one interview, or sometimes even 3 if you're lucky, and then what happens? The contracts them don't come same time.
Yeah.
So one come before the other one come months later when you're done.
Or even they ghost you.
Yeah, they ghost you.
They say, oh, you are so perfect for this role.
Not even a message says, sorry, we have chosen somebody else.
And don't hear back from them. And especially if you're somebody who has like career anxiety, you always sit on a ruminate and be like, Lord Jesus, the people them don't call me.
Yeah.
And then you, because I and this has happened to me. So I'm speaking from my personal experience.
Yeah.
Where I would apply for a role, would start talk, everything nice and dandy, and then radio silence.
Yep.
And then you're just like, wait, hold on, did I do something wrong?
True.
Did I not fit the criteria, or did I mess up in my interview
or presentation,
or did I not answer a question correctly?
Yeah.
Do they not like my personality? Like, those are all the questions that you end up start asking yourself.
Yeah.
When really and truly, it shouldn't have to be like that.
Yeah.
At least the least you can do, recruiter, is just tell the people them say choose somebody else. Just tell them.
It's the worst part when you call them, you can't get through. They be like, hi, Toni and I'll give you a call back.
Yeah. And I mean, we're not saying that you are obligated.
No, may I say you're obligated. May I say you're obligated because you take my resume.
You know what, that's true.
Yeah, you take my resume, you take me out of my yard, you make me come dress up in my suit and tie and makeup. You know what's my foundation? You make me come out of my yard, look good, smell good.
Talk about the foundation. By the way, get into the foundation, get into the face. Look at my friend. She's so beat.
Look at Jovia's face, you know, all the videos I put them in, like, But
Your
you know,
face is so good.
thank
You're so
you.
cute.
You know, and you know, make sure I must prove something friend.
She did a little thing for me as
Yeah,
well.
yeah, you know, we have to keep it cute. You know, we have to keep it cute.
Keep it cute.
But you know, we let's be honest, guys. When you're going to an interview, I'm not talking about you go to Maxis and buy two frat. Not that there's anything against it, but I'm just saying, you know, especially if you've been working for a number of years, you would have, you know, shopped around and kind of know what type of work outfits suit you best. Especially us as women, you know, we take pride in what we wear. I mean, you can check out my Instagram. You know, some I got add on the suit there. Yeah, you know, some is a suit kind of girl. So when me show up in a 3-piece suit, and me present myself and I do and I'm heels on so because the heels are squeeze my foot, my walk strong like anybody do nothing to me. And I do all of that for you to say, oh my God, great job, but then don't call me back.
Yeah.
Don't call me back. Or you call me back months later when we're done to take up our next work because me did wait.
Oh my God. Talk about that. When they're like, oh, your application for so and so, and I'm just like, when did I even apply for this?
In fact, when we do that interview there.
And for sure, you dig down your brain. Because that's happened too, where I apply for something and about like 4 months, they're like, oh, we're calling about your application for where, and I'm just like, I don't even remember applying to this place.
That's so true. And I guess it's because even some recruiting companies, they will stockpile resumes.
Yeah.
Which I have nothing against that. But at least I prefer updated one. I mean, it's been a minute. I might not be the same person. In fact, what I stated as a salary I would have wanted.
That might change
I mean,
too.
in the words of Jay-Z, the price yesterday.
Yesterday's price
is not today's price. Okay? So, you know, I find out that recruiters don't even think about that. But, you know, recently I saw an article. Let me not misquote the people there. I saw an article. It's called It's an Absolute Urgency. It was published on November 1st, 2023. So this year.
That literally last week.
Yes. On the Jamaica Observer, where there are business people in our private sector talking about the need to have foreign nationals come into Jamaica to solve our work crisis or workforce crisis. And at first, you know, I was like, workforce what? You know what people mean? No, unemployed and can't get job and can't get work and you out here want to come import. Similar to what they did to the nurses, you know. We imported a lot of nurses from different Caribbean islands. I mean, big up to themselves, but it left a lot of Jamaicans having to suffer and displaced. And that's why they go to the US or Canada to look for a better life, because instead of it being the conversation that we need to make these opportunities more lucrative to get our Jamaicans to stay, we say, okay, let's go to countries that may not be getting the same type of benefits and lure them with these benefits to work them twice as harder.
But then also what you might end up realizing as well is that the compensation package that they provide to the foreigner is a lot different than what they provide to the local.
That's true.
Because they're like, oh, well, we're trying to pull them over here. So why not try pull your own people?
No, that's true.
Why not try pull your own people? You can afford it. A lot of you companies, you can afford to bump up the salary at 10 or 20%. You can afford it. If you look at your numbers properly, if you look at your finances, look at what your overheads are, all that. But a lot of what is happening is that these businesses are not even really paying attention to what they're spending and what they're earning.
True.
They just see money come in and them say, yo, boom, bam, we make money. But you're not really looking at your output. You're not looking at you're not looking at your cost factor. One of them things that you just know, say, even, and this is going to be an unpopular opinion, but even the work from home policies that a lot of companies or lack thereof actually, a lot of companies have. When it was COVID, you guys were forced to send people home, and there are a lot of companies who recorded an increase in productivity.
True.
And you know what too? You also recorded a decrease in their spend. You know why? Because everybody know them all, and your light bill go down. So why aren't you looking at practical things to ensure that your business stays on track instead of just wanting people to come into office simply to look at them face?
That's true.
Focus on the task at hand, which is growing your business, sustaining your business, and ensuring that your employees are all comfortable enough to give you the maximum output that you're looking for. We have to roll with the times.
True.
Times are changing now, guys.
Listen, my friend overseas in England told me said she get 20 vacation days. That already make me know so with the back at time. Because you know Jamaica still there on a 10-day 10-day mission. And some companies, if you're at managerial level, you get 15 days. But at the base level, 20 is like a standard in those countries. Yeah. And it's because they understand the need for people to take a break.
Yeah, work-life balance is important.
It's important because let's get honest, especially as you grow as a, well, in our case, as marketers, and you move from just being an executive or an associate and you move up to a managerial level, you're not just working 8 to 5. Your brain is always clocking. If anything like me, everywhere I drive, I look on one billboard.
Same.
I try to find a new marketing avenue.
Same.
I learn every single app, whether it be Threads, Facebook, wannabe Facebook, Meta, everything, X.
Sit down and score trends.
Yeah.
Like, if you want to make sure your brand is on trend and what's happening.
Yeah.
And if you don't want to get left, because let's be honest, a trend can make or break a brand.
True. So, and if you're not jump on the right one in time, then tears. Because you can't make your boss know about the trend before you.
No, marketing is
dynamic.
Yeah,
and ever changing.
But it's never an 8 to 5 job.
Yeah,
it's never a 9 to 5 job. It does not stop once you leave the office. And I think a lot of employers need to remember that.
Yeah,
because especially as creative people, our brains go because different things inspire us.
Exactly. So like you may say you need me in office 8 to 5, but possibly if I got the opportunity to sit on a Hope Gardens or sit on a one cafe, more ideas and maybe more inspired
turning out work.
Yeah. So you have to be a little more pliable. But unfortunately that's a society that we live in, which is why you find a lot of creatives. So not only marketers, but even graphic designers and videographers, they're not staying in Jamaica anymore. They're also leaving. They're taking a page out of the book of our nurses and teachers and getting the heck up out of here. Yeah. And some of them, if not get out of here, there's so many remote opportunities because is it me or was HR becoming like marketing during COVID? Because they were pushing to me like I was ready to pack my bags and go to Switzerland because it looked so nice. But I said, yo, I could see myself and bubble up and one little boat and so. And I look,
With a laptop.
Look a laptop. With the beach right next to me. I could have said that, But, the flight ticket, I never did fund that. And I was also employed. So, I think it's easier to make those moves when you're in a dire situation or when you're like, you really want that change.
Yeah, because it does. I don't think it necessarily has to be a dire situation, but you have to be in the mental space.
Yeah, to want
to be like, all right, I want to do something different. I want to do something new.
Pack my bags, go Norman Manley, don't know how I'm getting back, but
go up on the ends.
That's so true.
Go for work and come back.
But what I would say to that article though, to bring it back, I would agree with the part where they need more tradespeople.
Yes,
because
absolutely.
What you find, even though the BPO sector came in and it gave people more opportunities to have a job, those jobs contribute more to those foreign companies than they do necessarily to Jamaica.
Yeah.
It allows the government to say, yes, the unemployment rate has dropped. But no, because everybody in an AC and everybody can wear a 3-piece suit, you're not going to find people who want to be a woodworker, who want iron and cut grill and guys who we need on the front line to do those tasks.
Yeah, but also that kind of career is not pushed nearly as much.
It's not seen as sexy.
Yeah, as like going to university and get a degree. Do you know how many university graduates them graduate and them go home and sit down because them don't have no work. And them can't find no work nowhere. Yeah, and I find that learning a trade in Jamaica is not as easy as they try to make it seem. It's not.
If you're not close friends with one plumber man, you can't learn plumbing like that. Yeah, you can go hard, but let's get real. Like the guy who is fixing your plumbing to the T, homeboy did not go to no heart. Homeboy learned as an apprentice for somebody else who probably studied overseas or studied with some other foreign companies. And that's how, they now have that skill set. And so what you find is even the ones who are really qualified in Jamaica, they're not in no teaching mode because them feel like the pie too small for everybody eat it, because like even, like I have once said to myself, I'd love to get into sewing. I remember one time unemployed, I was like, someone could have done sewing something and do like,
could have make like a dress.
So make a little dress, make a little frock and sew. But to find an apprentice, to find somebody who would be willing to teach me that skill set, no, son. You have to go work for them for little or nothing and hope say, mess up them thing because if you messed up, you're going through the door. Yeah. So I think, if the focus was more cottage industries, that's from prep school days. That's a blanket term. So cottage industries, where they would teach trade skills. They did a lot more of that before you and my time, in my mama's time, not in my time, where they would go into rural areas or urban communities that weren't as developed as others and teach the students or teach the old man who never know to read or write, or the old man how to sew, how to cook, how to make a living. Yeah. I mean, come on, growing up, how much people you see that sell toto and I sell, when I say get a good roadside fried chicken and rice and peas, like these days,
you have to go into an establishment for that.
Or going to the ghetto, because it's not common. And what you find is these tradespeople don't know how to transition that business from just being a skill that they can make some money on to being an actual business. Because they could be the next Quartz.
That's true.
They could be the next singer.
True.
Because really and truly, singer and Quartz, they both don't make their own stuff. They're retailers.
No, yeah,
but they could supply to them.
They outsource a lot of
and import.
They outsource to tradesmen.
Exactly.
To make things. Cause some of the nice big bedded them on the scene of coats.
Yeah, right downtown.
If a man make it.
Yeah, right downtown.
Man make it. Them contract the man make it. And when you buy one and it go, and them take another one from the man and them sell it. So the man is making money same way, but at the same time, what I find happens is that because of the nature of those businesses, say manual labor.
Yeah.
So it's not nearly as encouraged as go take up your book and whatever.
True.
And I'm like, but you can learn these things in a book as well.
True, but
there are processes and procedures to every kind of trade.
Yeah, but girl, tell the truth. Then people take up the book. Everybody up on TikTok, everybody watch Naturally Tones. I mean, we do all kind of something, to be honest. When I read it, I take a book. When else you go down the library?
I mean, I have books in my home.
Yes.
And I purchase books online.
Yeah, but a library with all-time knowledge to learn a skill or a trade. Exactly.
And I used to go to the library a lot when I was little. Exactly,
because that was the in thing. I mean, you never had a choice. We had dial-up back then. By the time you didn't load one web page, you didn't go to the library, pick out the book and come back and the page just load.
Right.
So, I mean...
my phone be like, I come dial page.
No, it's true. It's true. So what do you think about bridging the gap between executive level and management level as a professional in marketing?
So... For me, I think that may have to be a matter of mindset.
Okay.
Because what I find sometimes is that so you start normal as a normal marketer, right? And then you get
associate.
An associate,
yes,
not normal. Not normal.
I will not become abnormal as the time goes by.
Yeah, so it has to be, and you also have to be willing to do different things.
Yeah.
In my opinion, because you shouldn't, if you're going to get to, and if you're going to be a marketing like top level, I need to hear what it is that you are doing.
Yeah.
In terms of, are you teaching the people that are, below you? You're teaching them new things. Let's not rinse and repeat. Yeah. Let's do something different. Encourage your team to do new and different things. And also fight for your team.
Yeah.
Because there are a lot of marketing managers, marketing directors, marketing, people, and not necessarily just in marketing alone, but like anybody who is like in top management, who is responsible for things like, speaking to the board and directors and all those things. Fight for your team, especially if you believe within yourself that your team can do the work. Put some bucketive behind your team.
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah.
Because you've already hired them because you know them can do the work. Then give them something to work with. Don't just leave them and make them figure it out themselves. There are ways to do these things. Yes, you want to capitalize on their creativity. You want them to think for themselves, but then put something in place where they feel comfortable doing that.
Yeah.
Because there are a lot of the times, and this has happened to me personally, where I'm gonna have an idea, I'm gonna say, "Oh, this idea," and then they just go, "Boop."
Park it.
Calm down. And I gotta be like, oh, so I said, but you hired me for my idea.
Dead. Dead.
But then also I guess there's two sides to the coin, because as you just said, we're living in a certain kind of society where we can't necessarily afford all of the things.
True.
So you gotta look at it that way. But also when I say fight for the team, I mean in terms of, even if you can't afford it,
yeah,
find some other way to make it happen.
Yeah.
Because you don't necessarily need to sink a lot of budget into something in order to make it great. If you can figure out how to utilize the people on your team, lean into their strengths, play into the things that they know how to do, let them collaborate in the way that works best for them, you would be surprised at what you can get out of your team.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. For me, I find, this is a very interesting topic because, well, for me, the managers that I've had in the past, they've all pulled me up. You know, in a lot of ways, you know, as I keep iterating that, you know, I didn't have that marketing background, you know. People would say I have a knack for it, but I never studied it in its truest form at the time, you know, and I felt like the managers I had did a good job at saying to me, okay, Toni, that idea is great, but this is why it can't work. Instead of just leaving it at, it can't work, go ahead. You know what I mean? And that
I've had those too.
Right. And that's really what helped me to respect and understand business dynamic. I find that a lot of marketers, young marketers coming up, or even more seasoned marketers like myself, who have, you know, they've had different experiences, because the truth is some companies have more money than others. Yeah. So you know, you're used to certain bigger companies where the spend is like nothing to you, you know. Well, you go to a smaller company, that change of mindset is completely different. And I think that those experiences will teach you to be well-rounded to understanding sales, customer service, you know, supply chain, all these different areas of business that affect you as a marketer. You know, the truth is companies see marketing as an expense.
That is true.
That's the truth, because there's no, I mean, yes, you can calculate return on investment, but you need technology in place to do that. And for companies that can't even afford the technology for you to get that type of information, ROI is like a myth. That's
why I'm saying you need to get creative.
Yeah, you have to get creative and find ways in which you can measure the success of whatever it is that you're doing. And I think in that way, whether you're a manager or you're an exec, that's what you can use as a benchmark to fully guide your team to understand where they need to attack in order to get their ideas out, to execute flawlessly and effectively. You know, that's just my, you know, spiel, you know. So question, have you ever quit or walk away from a job and it left you feeling like this is for the best? If so, why?
Yes. I have resigned from a role, and as difficult as it was at the time, because this was a time when in hindsight, no, I can appreciate everything that I learned while working in that role. Even at the time, I'll be like, because as similar to you, I didn't necessarily study marketing. I studied communication, which is an entirely different discipline, by the way, guys. So I studied communication. So I had to learn marketing. I had to learn marketing. I had to learn advertising. I had to learn copywriting. I had to learn all of those things. Where I could have write from before, but you also needed to learn different principles on how you can use the knowledge that you have and transfer it into a marketing type of role. So it was difficult for me, because I'm just like, I'm learning so much, and this is my bulk of my experience, and But at the time, I just did not have the capacity to continue in that role and do everything else that I wanted to get done in my life. I had some other goals that I needed to work on, and it was just there. I didn't have the balance that I needed in order to achieve those goals. So if I didn't resign at the time, I think there would have been a lot of goals and opportunities that I would have missed out on. And it's like a double-edged sword, because you're just like, oh crap, I don't necessarily want to go, but it's just like,
it's the best decision
gotta go
for
try
me.
something else to see if it's a case, to see if this can work, especially if it's something that you were trying to do for a while, and especially if it's, you know, something, especially, and also you love your team, like you don't necessarily want to leave your team and just like jump into that entire unknown type of situation. But at the time, I feel like if I didn't take the opportunity that came along, I would have sat there wondering, well, what if, and that is the worst feeling. especially when it comes to your career, and you have absolutely no idea what's gonna happen next.
True.
And you're just like, ooh, I have this opportunity, and oh, maybe if I do it, I can see this and this happening for me. And then it's just like, between two minds. But at the end of the day, I had to quit.
Move on, right?
Yeah, I had to go. And it was fine because I had already learned so much, even at that place and like previous roles before. I had already learned so much, and I was already so grateful for all of the things that I have learned and all of the opportunities that I had during that time. So it wasn't like
a lost cause.
Yeah, it wasn't lost.
Right.
It wasn't a total loss for me because I met amazing people. I worked on amazing projects and all of those things. So it's like, it's just a
thank
chapter.
You next.
Yeah, it was just a chapter.
It was thank you next.
Close. What about you?
For me, well, those of you, if you're used to my channel. If you're used to my channel, you would know that I was unemployed for a little bit, and that job before we parted ways, and I always say it that way because to let me go when I was already through the door. Let's just say we parted ways, right? And what I would find is I was struggling. Like I left before that job. I left a place that I was completely comfortable. I was completely happy with my team. I was happy with the work that we were doing. And similar to you, I wanted growth. I wanted to keep up with that ambitious nature I have. I knew that if I stayed in that role, that 2-3 years from now, I'd still be in a similar role. And I wanted to take that leap of faith.
You want to take a try on yourself.
And I took that leap of faith and bumped my toe into the process because that place was crazy.
That was such a bad time for you.
It really was. Like, it was really bad. And it was bad because not only did they lie about what they wanted, what you'll find is that as a marketer, if you don't have no budget, there's not much you can do.
Literally.
And when I said no budget, I mean no budget. We're not talking about little bit of budget.
We are talking
no
zero,
budget.
Non-existent.
And then it's bad enough when you have no budget, but then when you have management expecting miracles from a zero budget,
blood out of stone,
and you're providing them with your expertise to say, okay, if we don't have the budget, then we need all hands on deck. We need this level of support, and you're not getting it. And they're still looking at you like, well, why isn't it happening? And it's going through one ear and the next. Like, it's crazy. And that separation was perfect. Like, I didn't want to go on my ad, to be honest, because, to be honest, when you work, especially in an economy like Jamaica, when you're working for so long, it's like foreign to you to go home and just sit down.
It really is.
And just no say, the 24 come, and you're not getting no pay. It's like, huh? And lo and behold, I did get a job like a few days after. But, regardless, it was something that needed to happen. It was really bad. You're working, that you're working 8 to 8. Sometimes 8 to 9 p.m. And then on the weekends. You never saw me.
I never saw you. Yeah,
my friends did not see me.
Wow.
My friends did not see me. I was working on the weekend consistently.
Working all the time.
I was working all the time. I had no free time. I couldn't eat lunch. I used to eat late nights. I mean, I was making bank, but at the same time, what's all the money in the world if you can't enjoy it?
That part.
Yeah, you can't enjoy it because you're just always working. Like, you're always working. You can't eat lunch. You have to walk down your breakfast.
Yeah.
They're calling you 24/7. Like, it's just not. It's just. And then the thing is, what you find is as you grow as a manager, as a manager in any capacity, you will start understanding the different areas of business and the different needs that need to, or different things, policies and changes that need to go in place to make the business run smoothly. So the truth is, no matter what environment you're in, it's an ecosystem. So if sales not the fit them part, then no matter what marketing I try to do, it's never going to work. And then if sales is doing their part, but then customer service is not doing their part, or marketing is not doing their part, it makes their job 10 times harder. Or even production in their instance, the product that they're trying to sell or the service that they're trying to sell is not doing what it needs to do. It makes their job 10 times harder. So when you work at some of these smaller Jamaican companies and they have a mindset that marketing is a fix-all with no budget, and then with their processes being all over the place. With their processes all over the place. Come on, and we always say party shopping in Jamaica when we're referring to things that don't make good. But I mean, I feel like Tasty's mothers and Juicy, they're thriving.
When they're run sensible.
So I feel like it's also unfair to keep saying party shop, but the place was a party shop. The place, and I've had enough calls, you know, and you guys know yourself, enough calls from people to know that place didn't make sense. Where I am now is definitely a much better place, you know. I love where I work right now. Big up yourself, Louis Industrial. Yeah, I love where right now. It's a great place to work. But, you know, that was my experience, you know, and sometimes, you know, what my therapist said to me is that it's good to take those bad experiences and not let them deter you from your personal goals or beliefs. Because if I had just taken in what those people said, you know, I would still be, you know, at home chilling because I'm thinking I'm not good enough or whatever the case is. But no, you know, I had to break out of that mindset. And you guys have to be careful how these knowledgeable people or knowledgeable managers turn your mindset against yourself. There's always room to grow. There's always room to change. Take the lessons and go. Thank you, next. Thank you, next. Thank you, next.
I think for me, when it came to a layoff, why it was so difficult was because there was no
heads up.
Not even that. There was no you suck and you're terrible.
Oh, wow.
There was none of that.
Yeah.
It was like, oh, you're doing so great and we love you and this is, and then boodadoops, bam bam.
But we're sending you home, bye.
Oh, and I'm just like, but guys, what about
me?
I thought we were in love, you know.
Obviously, not enough. Not enough.
Yeah. So there's a whole other type of mental gymnastics or whatever, what you want to call it, that comes from
turbulence. Mental turbulence.
Use the therapy word, girl. Use the therapy word. Yes. So there's a whole different mental turbulence that comes with, because so your situation was absolutely terrible.
The ghetto.
Like, but like also like it's so difficult when there was no terribleness.
Right. Yes. When you were used to people respecting you and treating you like you're a human being, and then have someone just completely like break it down to nothingness. It's like, what? It's possible? You know what I mean? And you know what's crazy about what I've learned to, you know, even what we talked about earlier about like foreigners coming to Jamaica to teach, you know, I found that a lot of my great bosses either have learned from or are not Jamaicans. Or non-Jamaicans rather.
True.
These guys have that first world experience that come with a completely fresh mindset to want to do things differently here. They're not just stuck on what we see every day. They want more, and they to me can provide you with the advice and the insight to challenge you to be as good as the people we watch on Netflix or the people that we watch on Apple or wherever, you know, and it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate because I feel like the educated Jamaicans who have left for years and started their business, you know, that is how they can give back. They can come here and not only teach, but even just have mentorship, you know, classes where there are a lot of educated Jamaicans who don't know how to function. You know, don't know how to function in the workplace.
That is true.
Don't know how to go after their goals. Don't know how to go after their dreams. And if they had someone who can say, I've been there, I've done that, let me just give you the words of encouragement, then that would make such a difference because it would make you feel like I can too. Yeah. You know?
So for me, like, just to add on to what you're saying, one of the best work experiences that I've had was with an overseas company. And it made me sad because I'm like, it's not like I necessarily, it's not that I hate working for Jamaicans. Yeah. It's just like, it's such a different experience.
It's jumping through hoops.
And so to the point where like when I was working with the international people and they would say like certain things to me and I would just be like, and I was genuinely confused and they're looking at me like, yo, why are you confused? Like,
like this is the norm.
Like a standard type of, because even something as simple as feedback. What I found, if I'm to compare local and international, on the international scale, I saw that feedback went both ways. Yeah. So like my team lead wanted to know, hey, am I leading you in the right direction? Am I doing the things that need to get done? Am I helping you meet your career goals type of thing? Whereas some of the experiences that I've had locally, it's just kind of like, well, here's what you need to do better. And it's just like,
and I am not the problem, but you are.
Yeah.
So you need to get it together because we get resumes every day. So I feel like you never need to get that work yesterday.
Yeah. So to the point where when they asked me for feedback, I was so like, I wasn't even sure how to speak it. Because I was just like,
are they for real?
And I'm like, in my head, I said, yo, them not trick me.
It's
like, do they really want to hear what I have to say? Type of thing. And then but I'm sure that there are tons of other people in the local market who are feeling the same way, where they genuinely want to work and they genuinely want to learn and they genuinely want to have an impact, but they just don't have the space to do it.
And that's why them scam. Not saying it's a good excuse.
I'm
I'm just saying, like, it's a quick chop, not supporting it at all. But people are always going to look for an easier alternative when
that is true.
When older folks make it harder.
Yeah.
Which is why, for example, I have a food and beverage degree and I never went into hospitality to work. It's too competitive. It's too competitive and you don't get paid enough. That's just the truth. So I decided, you know what? I didn't want to migrate. I didn't want to leave my country. So here, what? I'm also good at this other thing.
Let's try this other thing.
Exactly.
There's a video I saw. I don't remember if it was last year or a year before, but it was a university professor at UE, and he was saying that, you know, the reason the scammers are so prevalent now is because there's nowhere in the traditional labor force to put them.
True.
Because he's like, yo, these are smart young men and women,
but not smart on paper.
But not necessarily smart on paper or smart in the way that the traditional job market wants them to be.
True.
But when he broke it down, he's like, listen, these people are problem solvers.
Evidently.
Yeah. No, even because these people are problem solvers. They have figured out a way to get to the people who have the money.
True.
Next thing, they are creative in how they're going about these things. So you can see that they have creativity.
Yeah.
And they are able to collaborate. The man, them a chat together.
Group work.
Group work. So like he was also explaining that these are talented and smart people, but them just not have nowhere to go.
Yep. So then besides them not got hungry. Hungry is no longer fashionable, you know, it's not a style.
It really isn't.
So therefore, them a look upon you like, oh, you want to live on big house on hill? Me too.
Yeah.
Me too. I feel like I can do it too. Yeah. Okay. Whew. That was
a mouthful.
Okay, so to close off our final question, what advice would you give to educated Jamaicans who have experience, who are having a hard time finding a job, whether it's locally or overseas?
Boy, that's tough because...
Well, I'll go first while you
go first.
What I'd suggest, you know, level up. Level up in terms of your certifications. There are a lot of free certifications out there from Google, from Coursera. You know, level up in that way. And then also, a side hustle doesn't hurt. Social media management is a thing. A lot of companies can't do it themselves, and they would love to outsource blogging, content management, you know, retail. You know, I mean, for example, you know, those who know me, you know, ReadyFed is my baby. You know, ReadyFed stockings, and I have expanded that business over the time. I still work a proper, you know, 8 to 5, but I don't need to let go of that business because I know that will give me the additional income that I need. If it's a case we're supposed to work, no workout, I'm out of one job. I have some money for back, you know, rally back on. So
lean into your skills and your
exactly.
hobbies.
You know, I know I'm a smooth talker, so I know sales is also like another talent or another knack that I have. So, you know, if you find for you, you know, if you can, like Tracey here, you know, she has Skin by Trace, where she does body butters and oils, you know. So that's a skill for her that she can always get a different market by doing something like that. And she already have the marketing skill set, so it's just to push and create content. If you know for you, all right, you're good pan wash clothes, you can probably all start your own cleaning product line. You don't know. There are more avenues in Jamaica than you think. You know,
look at you giving out ideas.
That's just the truth. It's just the truth, you know. So that's definitely something you need to DM me on that for sure. But you know, you got to make you work for you.
Yeah,
you got to make you work for you in the meantime, and just keep adjusting that resume. You know, I'm not saying go lie on the resume, but the truth is, saying something like I was a marketing coordinator for a Nestle is a nice statement. But you can also add a little blurb to say, I was integral in the launch of this particular campaign that you knew went global.
Yeah.
I mean, you probably never that integral. You were part of the team. However, you were part of the team, sis.
You can say, I collaborated on a global campaign.
Exactly.
To increase sales by 25%.
Exactly.
Hello, the nice of the thing. Put in the word, then what you need to put in to make it thing. Because a lot of the times, you have a bigger impact than you think.
Yes.
And you just put, sell 2 cars on your resume.
Or I took names during a survey. No, your survey led to proper decision making that grew the company by 10%.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's not like you take names. You interacted with key
overseas
interacted with key stakeholders.
Exactly.
Okay. Put in the word that you need to put in.
Right. So those are little things that you can do. And as I said, level up where you can.
Yeah.
So if there's a cert happening, I always encourage people. You'd have heard it in my previous videos. If you're working somewhere and they encourage training, like don't just say, "Lad, this company not for
running
me."
Running on the training. Especially if them a pay fee, running on the training.
Or if you don't know it already, it's an extra paper upon you something. True. So why not?
True. What my advice would be is to change your mindset.
Yeah.
Change your mind. Because what I find sometimes is that we often think, I can't do this.
True.
Or this is outside of my scope.
Or I'm too good for this.
There's no way for me to learn this in time.
True.
Or this is below me or whatever. No. Especially if you are trying to have different areas of success, you have to change your mind. And I'm saying it because as somebody who has had to do it, me have to do that. And especially when it came to and as a creative person, especially when it came to taking things personally.
Yeah.
Don't take it personally.
Do the people then work on their yard?
Pack it up. When 5 o'clock, come go home. Cry at home.
Cry to your yard. Cry to your man, cry to your mother, cry to somebody else but your boss.
No about to me, cry to God. Right? And no, I'm telling you, because there was a time where I used to feel like, well, why doesn't my boss want to hear that, I feel sad about this decision that didn't go in the way or whatever. When the truth is, guys, your boss has different things going on.
In my bigger fish to fry.
Bigger fish to fry than
little deal when they work out for you.
Exactly. And I know it sucks. And it may be difficult to hear, but you have to put on your emotions.
Yeah.
Gotta put down your emotions.
Leave them at the door. Pick them up back when you leave.
Gotta leave your emotions outside. When you reach and you park, leave them in the cup holder in your car. When you finish and you go into the car and you're going home, you can put them back in it. Yeah. But and it also helps with that. It helps with your stress levels. Yeah. Because you're not taking too much on your head. You're not taking everything on. You're not trying to save the world. You know me, as a save the world kind of girl.
She need to let it go in Jesus' name.
Right? Me was a save the world kind of girl. Where I want everything to be perfect. Oh my God! But eventually, I was just like, well, this is not perfect, and this is as close to it as it's gonna get. Somebody need to work with this and call it solved. Yeah. So that's what I think would probably be the main thing that I encourage people to do. Pick your battles. Yeah. Like, figure out what it is that you can take on and what you have to give to somebody else. Yeah. So that's why you have a team. You have a team because you are not meant to do it on your own. Don't feel like you want the captain save the world. Yeah. Do what you can do, lean into what you can do, and if it's a case where something is not going in the way that you envision, ask for some help. True. Ask for some help. You'd be surprised. True. Yeah. True.
Oh boy, well, I am so happy that we had this talk, and I hope you guys sincerely enjoyed it and took little golden eggs, little nuggets that we dropped in there.
Information.
Thank you for watching another episode of Cocks and Cocktails without the cocks or the cocktails.
Yeah. Oh wow, it's a serious business, sir.
Serious business. Thank you guys. Until next time.
Bye.